What's good, y'all? The draft is about to start in a few here. So I just, as promised, I want to go ahead and send out the video answering some of the questions. One of the first questions was who are the contenders? And the just to let y'all know, I don't want to really call out who the contenders are this early in the game, considering, that let's see what these teams do in the draft. Let's see what trades are out there and things like that. So once that happens, I'll put out maybe another video and let you know what teams to watch out for. But of course, the Chiefs right now, the championship goes to them. Shout out to them. As far as I go, a little bit about myself, because somebody asked how I'm both the Jags and Cowboys fan. I just grew up in that era during the Cowboys dynasty. That was the first team I watched, so I kind of got grandfathered into that. And then I lived in Jacksonville during the Jaguars' inception in '95 and decided to follow the home team ever since then. And I've been a Jag fan ever since. They are my number one team. So if they're playing the Cowboys, I'm always rooting for the Jags. Next question, the Bucks. I want to see what the Bucks do in the draft before I really say what I think about the Bucks as far as like where they're going to end up. But Tom Brady, I'm not sure he still has it anymore. I think he gets you for sure two more games, considering that he's not going to throw the ball away the way Jameis Winston did. But they got to fix the offensive line. I think that's something they can do in the draft. I'm hearing Trent Williams. I'm also hearing what's the free agent from Philly, Jason Peters. I'm hearing those rumblings. They do that. The offensive line will be all right, and I'll be interested to see what that offense does with Tom Brady. I'm not so hype on Gronk because last time I saw him, I think he looked done. And I don't think taking a year off and losing all that weight is good for him. And if you want me to be all the way 100, here's a sleeper tip. I actually think Cameron Brate, who doesn't get as much love, is actually the best tight end on that roster. OJ Howard's the more talented one, being faster and everything, but he doesn't seem to produce as well. The Bucks front seven, one of the best in the league. They got Vita Vea and Dominican Sue. Shaquille Barrett's back. Devin White's going to be a special linebacker. Levante David next to him is a really good one. Jason Pierre-Paul, great. The problem is their secondary is atrocious. They got one corner, Carlton Davis. I do like him. And the other guy, Sean Murphy Bunting, he's okay. He had like 3 picks last year. Their corners are big. They like to, play big corners. The problem is their safeties are really bad. Right? These aren't speed corners that they got, and you're covering people like Julio Jones, the Saints offense. You need safety play. Those corners can't play with those kind of wide receivers. They need to upgrade everywhere in the secondary. And they can do that in this draft because this draft is one of the deepest drafts that we've seen in a while. So let's see what they do. And right now, if you put a gun to my head, I think it's the Saints division to be had. As promised, I said I don't think this is a Jags rebuild. I think it's a little bit of a soft reboot, but I actually think the Jags can be really good if they knock this draft out the park. And the reason for that is I think Gardner Minshew is at least a competent quarterback. I think we're returning all the offensive linemen. Cam Robinson had a little bit of a down year, but I never quite thought left tackle was his best position. If they draft a left tackle and they move him to guard, I think this offensive line is one player away from being really good. If we end up with a good offensive line and competent quarterback play, I think the wide receiving core is plenty good enough with DJ Chark, D.D. Westbrook. The offense could take off. Now, this does depend on whether we trade Leonard Fournette or not. But there's also good running backs in this draft. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a plan for that. And we did draft Raquel Armstead last year. I'm interested to see what he can do too. As far as defensively, we have Josh Allen. That kid's going to be a special one. Trust me on that one. Yannick Ngakoue, I don't think they get rid of, but if they do, we'll get another high draft pick. And then Dawuane Smoot can play the big defensive end role Calais Campbell vacated. Give you perspective, I think Calais Campbell had like 6 sacks last year, and he was starting to fall off against the run. Dawuane Smoot had 4, and he was playing in spot duty. So I think we'll be fine on the D line. What we need is a big run stuffing defensive tackle and some corners. And watch this defense. It's going to be a pretty good one. Of course, they need to draft well for it to happen. And I understand it's a big if, but when you're rebuilding, you're typically stripping it all down. This cupboard's not bare. It's really, I think, close to being a pretty good roster. And if not this year, I think next year will definitely be really good. All right. I also just want to, give a quick shout out to, the Fine Grooming Studio. I miss you guys. As you can see, unfortunately, with the quarantine and everything, can't get the cut. Also, RIP to Freddie Gordo, Fred the Godson. I just want y'all to stay safe out there and have some respect for some of the families that are dealing with this issue. I know that some people think it's a hoax, but let's have some compassion for those that are losing family members and loved ones. I don't want to get too deep on you guys, so hit me back. I'll post another video. If you guys got more questions, keep them coming. I don't mind. It's not like I'm going anywhere. I have a good one. And go Jags, and good luck everybody with the draft tonight.